and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ginny Mae. I'm the intergalactic supreme goddess of guest service. I've been in the service business for over 17 years and specifically focusing on restaurants. Today I would love to talk to you about how managers can affect the service level in the restaurants. There's a lot of managers out there that are talking about great service and talking about the good talk about great service, but question is, are they actually walking their talk? A lot of times in the restaurant business, this is the key factor that's actually missing. So let's talk about some of the points that can help a leader make great service happen in their restaurant. The first point is actually leaders don't like to hear it, but experience shows that the better the leader treats the employee or the staff member, the better service that staff member is going to end up giving to their guests. Unfortunately, the opposite is true. If the leader isn't treating that staff member so nice, of course, they have no motivation to end up treating the guests coming in the front door in a nice way. So it's so important that the leaders are really taking care of the staff, because that's going to trickle down and going to end up that the staff is going to end up giving great service to their guests. Service ends up usually suffering when the leaders and the managers aren't walking their service talk, because what happens is that the staff ends up usually watching what the leader does and ends up doing what they are doing instead of listening to what the leader wants the staff to actually do. The thing about it is, if a leader, for example, is sitting in a meeting and they're very busy with a couple other people, and all of a sudden one of the staff members needs assistance from the leader due to maybe a guest or whatever other circumstance, and the leader is just like, yeah, I'll just be there in a little while or wait till after this meeting, that's giving the signal that a meeting is more important than the staff needs. Maybe the staff is dealing with a guest at the moment. Maybe something is broken and needs to be fixed so that the service can be smooth as possible. And by the leader saying, hey, after the meeting, it's going to give a signal that that meeting's more important. And that's entirely backwards in my mind, because a leader should be the person that is going to be at the top fighting for service all the time, and also dropping that meeting, whatever it may be, going to help out as best that they can, and of course they can just come back to the meeting. Also, when managers are walking through the restaurant, if they're actually on a day where they have to do some administration and they end up walking by a guest that needs some help, what type of signal is that giving? That's giving the signal that what I am doing or my administration or whatever is a lot more important than those guests sitting there. And if our staff members start to see that, they're going to also think, hey, administration work or ordering this or that is a lot more important than helping the guest that's in need. We need to remember as leaders that the guests are always first. And this is also a show to our staff to let them know, hey, it's important. If the leader is jumping up in the middle of the meetings, if the leader is acknowledging a guest and helping them, even though there's a lot of other things that the leader is supposed to be doing at that time, it's going to bring such a positive signal to the staff that, hey, no matter what you're supposed to be finishing or your task that you're supposed to be doing, if a guest is in need, if a guest looks like they need acknowledgement or a little bit of something, stop what you're doing, help the guest out, because you know what? That's why we're here. We wouldn't be able to have any administration, we wouldn't be able to order anything if we didn't have any guests that were using these products. Another thing that drives me a little bit crazy is when a manager is sitting down doing some administration and they also order food. So now they're eating food, and a lot of times it could end up getting busy at this point, and they just keep doing their administration and eating food and watching the staff like, oh, I'm watching everybody to see that everyone's all right. But you know what? A lot of times the staff doesn't come back to the manager and say, hey, we really need you on right now. We need your help, because they want to be, oh, we can do this. You know, you taught us well, and we respect your time that you're doing this administration, and a lot of times they don't ask for help even though they actually need it. So we as leaders need to think, oh, okay, now they need help, I need to go on the floor and help my staff. A lot of times when I am in that situation, I think, you know what, 4 or more tables, I'm on the floor, until I have a good feeling that my staff can end up handling it again, and then of course I can go back to my admin. I always show up at work, if you have a uniform, in a uniform, so I give my staff the feeling, you know what, I'm ready to jump on if you need me, and trying to evaluate the situation at the time so that I will just jump on naturally instead of waiting for my staff to come and ask me if I can help them. In a lot of organizations and restaurants, the more you move up the ladder, it seems that service is less important. The more talk about service and how it's so important maybe grows, but walking the talk actually starts decreases. And I know leaders don't like to hear this, but you know what? This is totally backwards. If service is important as we say that it is, then we at the top have to be totally committed to walking our talk and making sure service actually happens. Be aggressive to make sure that service is happening in your restaurant. Think about what you are doing throughout the day that may conflict with you walking your talk. Pinpoint these things and really make and take action this week to start showing your staff that service is the most important thing in your restaurant. Because you know what? Any restaurant that has a fantastic service is always going to keep their guests. There's going to be word of mouth commercials about your restaurant. Friends of friends will end up showing up, and of course this is going to be an amazing circle that's going to keep your restaurant positively growing. So I hope everybody out there has an amazing week, and please try giving some of these tips and tricks a try. And if you're a leader or manager, I would love to see you doing some of these things for your staff. It will definitely keep them happier and more motivated to give great service. Let's all go out there and give some amazing service, and I'll see you next week on Waiters Weekend. I'm Ginny Mae, the Intergalactic Supreme Goddess of Guest Service, and if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel by pressing my face right here. Otherwise, if you'd like to see another video, just press here. I thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye!